Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the BeerDad and Brewed podcast, hosted by my dad, the Beer Dad, the most awesomest dad around. Cheers, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the BeerDad and Brewed podcast. As always, I am your host, the Beer Dad, Justin Allen. I'm joined here by my co-host, the Brewed Master Brewer himself. He loves that. Yeah. Joshua Kunkel, say hello. There he is. Today is a very special episode. I've got some special guests here with us today that have been dying to be part of this show. Two guys that are very important to me, so I'm glad Josh gets to finally meet them. One being my brother, Andrew Lang. Here he is. Andrew, say hello to the listeners.
Hello, listeners.
There you go. And also, Chris the King Focker. I told you guys that you guys eventually would get to meet a Focker on the radio, and here he is. Chris, say hello.
What's up, everybody?
All right. So, this is a special episode. We are in the month of December. The holidays are vastly approaching. Well, we're sitting here in the Beer Dad studios. You can see it looks like Christmas was thrown up all over the living room. We got Christmas trees and presents and everything. So
our birthdays are coming.
That is why we are here. So we are, first things first in December is we celebrate our 3 birthdays. Everybody knows that myself and Andrew, we are a day apart. Mm-hmm. So December 10th and December 11th, followed by December 17th. We all have tattoos that signify our birthdays. We've been together for a very long time, the 3 of us. Obviously, Andrew and I, our whole lives, and Chris came in, when we were 11, 10? When did you come around? Boy Scouts?
Yeah, Scouts age. So
yeah. So it's been a long ride for the 3 of us, Josh. So you'll quickly find that we're basically triplets, if you want to just go ahead and go with that. But it's a cool episode. So this is a special birthday episode where we always get together every year for our birthdays and a lot of conflicting schedules, everything. This is the day we could do it. So we're here for a podcast and we're going to drink some awesome beers. We've already done a little pregame. You guys know that every podcast, Josh and I usually will pregame before, get a little loose. So big news, Josh. We got to crack open our Collab beer. The Mo-in-Law's Hazy Home Remedies. Yep. It's a hazy double IPA that's double dry hopped. Comes in about 9%.
It's a big beer.
And a pretty crazy flavor, very spicy flavor with the turmeric and the ginger.
Yeah, I mean, I was telling you earlier, I'm already thinking around 2 here. Don't get me wrong, this beer is growing on me right out of the gate. I had my suspicions like anyone else. Yeah. But the beer is growing on me. That turmeric, it's got a punch to it, but it's actually pretty damn phenomenal, and it's actually balancing pretty well with everything else in the beer.
Yeah. I think we might be onto something. I mean, well, the whole thing, the mother-in-law's home remedies comes from my mother-in-law. She's all about a lot of home remedies and not so much go to the doctor, here, this will fix you, and a lot of them really do work. But one thing I know is turmeric and ginger, regardless of if mother-in-law tells you or not, is very good for you. You can look this stuff up. So by putting it in a beer, it's almost like we're saying, hey, we care about our health. So we've got a beer here that I can justify drinking.
It's about the healthiest thing you've had in a while.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's right. So, but it's really good. So I think we're onto something. So Andrew, what did you think of that beer? You got to try some of it.
It was good. Unique taste, unique flavor, and the smells were just on point. Turmeric definitely hits you, but it's not overpowering.
Yeah. I
really enjoyed it.
I like it. Well, we got to try it when we were making it, and when we got it out of the mash, it was overpowering, and we were like, okay, let's see what we can do to it. And Josh came up with the idea to dry hop it twice. Yeah. So that's where the double dry hop comes in. And I really think that's what did it.
Oh, yeah. So I was going to say, right at High Krause, and I threw in some Amarillo. Mm-hmm. I was hoping, that nice citrus orange would kind of help maybe smooth things over a little bit. And then just to give it that little extra incentive, we were doing that taste testing right before the Props and Ops Festival, where I had a couple of tinctures and I had one with Sriracha Ace, and we're like, let's see what we got here. And that just completely smoothed it over. So we're like, okay, we gotta make a hop oil extract with the Sriracha and throw that in there.
Yeah, and it came out good. Chris, what did you think?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the beer. It's definitely something I've never had before or tasted anything like it. I'm looking forward to having another glass of it.
Yeah.
I think it's a good cold weather beer as well.
Definitely. Yeah.
It's got some spice to it, but I don't know. I always ask this with all of the home brews is like, I always ask people, what do you like? What do you don't like? And then, of course, based on what you're tasting, if there's something that's like, what would you keep? What would you change? So I'll ask you guys the same question. Is there anything you think would benefit from like changing the beer, in the next edition of this beer?
I mean, the turmeric was right on point. So I mean, I don't think I messed anything with that. I mean, I thought it was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what else.
I was going to say cut back a little bit.
Oh, really? Okay.
Go back. Okay. No, I'm
50-50 there.
I'm in the same boat.
I liked it.
Yeah, my brain's already telling me maybe like that turmeric kind of dominated the whole sphere.
It did. But I thought it was, but I liked it.
Oh yeah, no, I like the spice too. I like that. It was almost like a black peppercorn kind of like spice kick to it, and like I said, it kind of grew on me as I drank it. I was like, all right, this is good. But I thought about maybe backing it off a little bit too, just because it surprised me. I always think of ginger as being like the ultimate spice. You throw ginger in something and it's always going to dominate.
Right.
So that was the thing that tripped me out with this beer is we threw a lot of ginger in there along with the turmeric, but that turmeric just came out of the gate swinging. It did not want to go away.
Yep.
Well, it's good because I'm not a big fan of ginger, so I kind of like that's kind of probably why I like the turmeric more. I'm not a big ginger beer fan, so.
Well, that's good. Well, I'm glad you guys liked it. You guys are literally between Josh and I the first people to try that beer.
Nice.
So hopefully it takes off. We're gonna drop it off with a few of our friends and see what they think too, and we'll
try
see.
to get a consensus.
Yeah, we're gonna it's still in the R&D phases right now. So those that actually get to try it, those that have promised bottles to. Definitely give us your feedback and let us know, and we're gonna do a couple tweaks here and there. But I think we're definitely onto something for sure.
It's pretty much right there.
Yeah.
Like I said, my brain's thinking around 2, but I'm thinking just minor tweaks. Maybe back off the turmeric a little bit, throw in maybe a crystal malt for a little bit of residual sweetness. And I think that thing will be like.
I just think, like I told you, like if we entered it in a competition, people would be drinking beers, and you know how it is because you do a ton of competitions. Like a lot of the beers start tasting the same, and there's a lot of people like to enter the what's hottest, what's the flavor of the month. Whether it be a peanut butter porter or stout or a hazy IPA or something like that. I mean, this is a hazy IPA, but this is not a hazy IPA because I mean, just the smell, that first smell, that first
level.
Yeah, everything just blows it out of the water. And if someone tasted that, it would definitely get their attention for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I would easily throw this into the experimental beer category, and I'm pretty sure it would definitely stand out.
Yeah, well, we'll look into seeing some upcoming competitions. Maybe we'll throw some bottles out there.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyways, Andrew, my dear brother here, just got back from a trip with his lovely wife. They went to the Midwest for the Thanksgiving, and he got to go to 3 different states, Andrew.
Correct.
3 states. And usually when we travel places, Josh, myself, Andrew, Chris, something we like to do is always bring back beers because
first it's find a brewery in the area.
That's
gotta find it.
You gotta find the breweries and then
first thing
sampling,
go and partake, and then always bring something back. So I did the same thing recently when I went to Minnesota for my brother-in-law's graduation from college. Awesome breweries in Minnesota, and you just came back with some. Josh did a trip to Rhode Island, Massachusetts for the homebrewers convention, and he came back with some Treehouse, which was amazing because that's like a big deal and it's hard to come by because it's only on the East Coast. So it's cool. So Andrew came through. He stopped in 3 states and he brought back some goodies. So we're actually going to sample from 3 states. We're going to start in Kentucky. We're going to work our way up north into Ohio, followed by we're going to be in Michigan. So we're going to go ahead and start in Kentucky. So, Focker, why don't you go ahead and crack that open?
All right.
We're going to start in my ancestors' state.
Okay. It's my first time in Kentucky. So just cross over the Ohio River and from Cincinnati to Covington, Kentucky. This is where that beer is from.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a lot of family that comes from Ashland.
Okay.
Ashland, Kentucky.
Yep.
I'm familiar with Louisville, Kentucky, obviously.
Slugger.
Louisville Slugger, as well as what's that other? Bowling Green, Kentucky. Mm-hmm. So that's actually where Rich used to live.
Oh, really?
Bowling Green, yeah. So Swingin' loves that place. So when you're done pouring that there, Focker, let me see that can so I can let the listeners in on what we're doing here.
There you go.
All right. So, Kentucky. Andrew, you partaked in the Kentucky trip. This is Braxton Brewing Golden Cream Ale. Comes in at 4.8%.
Definitely a white one.
Let's see here.
Definitely a golden ale.
So you'll like this, Josh. I'm going to read this to you because it'll hit home for you.
Okay.
So this is a traditional American lawnmower beer. Obviously, it's a lighter beer, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This Golden Cream Ale is a pale straw in color with brilliant lightning-like clarity, and it is. It's very clear. Mm-hmm. Storm makes a great session beer, complete with flavor. This is what you're going to like, Josh. The beer you're holding was first brewed in our garage on Braxton Drive in Union, Kentucky. We take immense pride in offering you a cold sip of this Golden Cream Ale, a dream that started in a small garage and, like a storm, grows with unrelenting power. I like that.
Well,
so,
nice.
home brewers here from Braxton that took off. So, cheers.
Yeah.
We get this thing started here in Kentucky. Let's give it a go.
Salud.
That's not bad. I can see why they call it a lawnmower beer.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely easy drinking.
I could definitely be on a riding mower.
Very smooth.
It's in
very
my
smooth.
hand.
That's actually my dream. I try to talk the beer wife into letting me get one for here, but she thinks the
For
neighbor.
your lawn?
Yeah, she thinks the neighbors will think I'm a quack because the one side's all concrete and the other side's just a little small area. It's probably, I don't know, maybe I'd say 20 by 30 if I'm lucky. So she says the neighbors would be like, "Who's that? Look at that crazy guy out there on the ride-on lawnmower." But that's just something that I've always wanted
Or
to
you
do.
just go down the neighborhood and be like, "Gotcha."
Yeah.
You want some lawn?
Yeah. Well, I only like one of my neighbors. The other one, yeah, he can mow his
As long
own
as you're wearing
fucking lawn.
stirrups and have some toy guns.
That's right. Yep.
Little old school pop.
Yeah,
cap.
a little pop. Yeah.
I like it. So here's my thoughts on Braxton Brewing. I really like the story. That's pretty cool because I love my home brewer community, and I love it when you make a flagship beer, something that's easy drinking, that you can put in your fridge.
Nice
Put an 18 pack in there, and you can just have it whenever you want. You can drink several of them, and you're okay. You're not inebriated. You're just
Great summer beer. Yeah.
it's a good beer. What do you think, Josh?
No, I like it. I mean, I was gonna say cream ales. Sadly, the name's kind of a misnomer, but as the style goes, they are just the quintessential, like they put it, lawnmower beer. Mm-hmm. It's easy, light. Just kick back, have a couple, sessionable. Just have a good time with them.
Yep.
So
this is a beer. We know, obviously, Mr. Craig. He listens to the show. You guys met him on episode 1. These are the types of beers that he likes for all day long.
Oh yeah, no, these are perfect for that.
Oh yeah,
because it's just, they have plenty of flavor to them, but they're light. They're just like kickback. You're not gonna like get a hot bomb that's gonna just blow out your palate, or you're gonna get like a sugar bomb doing just the same on the opposite spectrum. These are just kind of middle of the road, easy going.
Absolutely.
And especially for those folks that are grew up on Pilsners like, Budweiser, Coors, these are kind of like the more flavorful cousins of that.
They'll keep you hydrated.
Yes.
Yeah, throw a little fact out there. So Covington's right across the Ohio River from Cincinnati, and then next to it is Newport, Kentucky. And from what I learned, the Newport was actually the biggest gambling city in the United States before Vegas.
Oh, wow.
Back in like the 1960s, and a lot of gangsters hung out there, a lot of mobsters and stuff like that.
So they had plenty of time to perfect recipes like this.
So that was a cool little thing I learned while I was out and about there.
cool.
So
Yeah.
Nice.
Alrighty.
definitely very smooth beer.
Let's crack the next one. So we're gonna go
back across the river here.
go across the river. We're going to Kentucky. So
No, we're
Ohio.
Oh, wait.
we were in Kentucky. We're going to Ohio.
Going north.
I've only had one. Listen to the beer dad over here. All right,
chicken
so we're
wings.
going north. We're going to Ohio. Taft Nellie's Key Lime Caribbean Style Ale. This is either going to be really, really good or really, really bad. So let's do this. Go ahead.
This is something I expect.
Key lime is one of those things you're just like, ugh.
This is something I expect Florida to get right, but Ohio, I'm going to reserve judgment. I'm reserving judgment.
This is one of the ones I'm looking forward to trying because one of my favorite beers I've had was a lime cream ale. So
All right.
We'll see what this is like.
Well, let's throw the cups out and see what we got.
Key Lime Pie.
Now, Taft's is a brewery I didn't go to in Ohio. It was just a can I picked up at the Trader Joe's.
Oh yeah, that's what I found when I went to Trader Joe's is sometimes not so great for beer, but I've noticed in other states they are, because I went to the one in Minnesota and they keep their alcohol separate from the actual store, but you go in and it's like a liquor store, but it's Trader Joe's. They had a whole wall of nothing but local Minneapolis craft beer.
Nice.
I thought that was pretty cool. You see that can there, Chris?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm getting the lime definitely on that nose.
Oh, yeah.
I like the can. I like that Degeneration X neon green color there.
With palm trees.
Yeah.
It's got it looks like a dude sitting in a bathtub up on their little logo for Taft's. Nellie's Key Lime Caribbean. So ale brewed with coriander.
Okay.
Again, then some natural key lime flavor. So this is 4.8, so another lawnmower beer. Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I like this.
It's, yeah.
So a brewery in Cincinnati. All right, everyone else is getting a flavor. I'm gonna check this out.
Actually, this is a damn good beer. I'm liking this a lot.
You know what this reminds me of, Josh? This reminds me of your Mexican lager a little bit. Yeah, yours is a lot heavier and darker, obviously, but the flavor that I'm getting, similar.
Yeah, that lime kind of quality.
I was going to say that it kind of reminds me of a lighter Corona. When you throw a little bit of lime in there.
Yeah, it's like already
Yeah, there's
built
like
in.
A little splash of lime, but it's not overpowering.
I'm actually excited because I was a little on the worried side that it was going to taste like a sugary key lime beer.
Yeah. But no,
like
this
key
is
lime
good.
pie.
This one, this is kind of what I was talking to you earlier, where the lime gets the lime quality almost gives it a little bit of a caramel.
Yeah.
Like on the back end.
I taste that. Yeah.
You know. So as it blends with like the malts and stuff, you almost get this like caramel kind of coming through, along with this like citrus lime note. And this is like a perfect example of that. I mean, the Mexican lager I do is more of a dark amber Mexican lager. I do a Vienna style like Mexican lager, but I did one recently where I was playing around with a type of yeast called Kveik. It's like a hot weather yeast.
All right.
And there's one variant called Hornindal Kveik that at high temperatures produces a bit of a lime ester.
Oh.
So I thought to myself, screw it, let's make a Mexican lager, use this yeast, crank up the temperature, and let it produce that lime quality naturally in the beer without having to add it after the fact.
Right. It was really popular at that festival.
Yeah, we blew through a whole 5-gallon keg.
Yeah, I mean when people were coming up, well, there was a couple of popular. Everybody was coming up to Josh's clubs there at this brew fest. It was pretty crazy because they were literally right next to Hangar 24. You've been there. That's a popular brewery. They literally just sold recently. Yeah. And I'm looking at this huge line for Josh's home brew club. And next door at Hangar 24, there's nobody there. Right? And I love Hangar 24. There's but like that just goes to show and not just his club, the Inland Empire Club that was right next to you, they were popular too.
Oh yeah.
But the Mexican lager, like everyone that walked up, because I actually got behind the counter, boys, believe it or not, and started serving some beer.
You learned how to do that at the Heineken.
I did. I learned at the Heineken plant. We talked about that. When they would walk up, it was either they were asking me for the Mexican lager or what was the other one? The Frankenstein.
The pale, yeah.
Because the hazy was gone already when I started working over there.
The two big winners right out of the gate were we did hazy and a coconut stout.
Ooh.
Those blew like real fast. Yeah. That hazy, man, that just like hit the mark perfectly. Like everyone kept like coming back for that one.
But old Johnny C, everybody listened last week. He liked that Mexican lager, not so much the mead though. He wasn't a big.
Well, he had to learn how it was made first.
Yeah, that was good. Johnny C, I know you're listening. We appreciate you being on the show. Yeah. I'm sure we'll have you back again soon. But this was a good beer. I like it. Let's do the next one.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna keep that one in mind for future sake.
Go ahead, pop it open.
All right.
This is the one that Andrew wanted to bring special for his dear old brother because the name of the beer, Andrew, what is it?
It's called Dad.
It's called Dad.
Simple.
So the BeerDad and Brewed podcast. Here we are. We're having some Dad. And this is Rhinegeist, right?
Dad beer.
This is from Rhinegeist?
It is, Rhinegeist.
Okay, Rhinegeist is a brewery I've actually heard of, so they're probably one of the biggest in Cincinnati area, correct?
Yeah,
okay.
massive brewery. Those of you who are familiar with Ballast Point in Miramar in San Diego, very similar. Big open space, just openness to drink. Got a whole bar set up for tasters. They do all their production there. I'm assuming they do all their bottling there.
Okay.
Really, really cool brewery.
Nice. I already like the smell. And this is a Dad Hoppy Holiday Ale. I like the little plaid that they have on here. That's pretty cool. Sure. That's funny. So their logo is like a cross between Pure Project and Full Circle, which is in Fresno. Because Full Circle has the little skeleton, and then Pure has like the water drop.
Yeah, water drop.
Very similar. So that's pretty cool, and they're part of the independent craft label. So that's always good to see on your can. That's when you know they're not owned by Constellation and InBev and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of good.
Of course, speaking of Ballast Point, I gotta throw this in there.
Oh yeah, that's big news. Why? How did I not? I forgot to say that at the beginning. I put it all over social media. But damn it, Josh, tell the listeners the great news about Ballast Point.
Ballast Point is now a craft brewery again.
That's great.
It's back to its beginnings.
All of us, the same question I keep getting posted everywhere that everyone's asking is like, how much did they lose out?
Oh, tons.
How much did they sell that brewery?
Because they were bought by a very small independent mom and pop shop in Chicago. Yes. Correct? Yeah. Kings and
Thieves, I thought.
Look it up.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's someone I've been interested in trying because they started nationwide distribution. But what's really cool is now that they're at Ballast Point, they're coming to San Diego. So you guys are going to get to enjoy some of their beer because they're going to still make Ballast Point, but they're going to start making their Chicago beer there in San Diego as well so that they can distribute from their overseas. The owners, I believe, they're both expats. One is from Australia and one is from London, I think, and that's why they have that name because it's like a homage to Australia and Britain. I believe. Don't quote me. Just something that I read the other day. But yeah, so that's big news for Ballast Point. But back to the Rhinegeist here, Dad Hoppy Holiday Ale.
You got to read the first line on the back of the can there. It's a total dad joke.
Oh, this is good. This is what the show's all about. This is what it's all founded about. All right. So, Dad Hoppy Holiday Ale. Hi, Thirsty. I'm Dad. This hoppy red ale sports a robust malt bill as ample and snug as a well-worn flannel. Throwing on a pair of oversized sneakers that break all known fashion laws, Dad mows anchors of dank piney hops uphill both ways in the snow. Keep it up. I'll turn this can around.
As Ron Jeremy always says.
Keep it up.
Keep it up. I like that.
Sorry, Kings and Convicts.
The only thing missing is they didn't say anything about him wearing his dad hat. That's a big deal there. You gotta have a dad hat when you're wearing your big New Balance sneakers while mowing your lawn. Yes,
and white New Balances
with Velcro.
Possibly a fanny pack. Just saying. All right, so let's.
By the way, found it convict or Kings and Convicts.
Kings and Convicts. There we go.
Kings and Convicts.
I mean, I will say one thing about Ballast Point: they did sell, but their beer remained the same.
Yeah,
for the most part. Most of it did.
Yeah.
What changed is the lack of R&D.
Yeah.
Because then they went into distribution mode.
Going to the brewery, they still had a decent amount of R&D going on.
Well, it was one of those. I think the big thing was they kind of like it was a Green Flash where they basically decided to buckle down on just expanding the empire, and then it just because they kind of burned a lot of bridges when they sold. You know, don't ever discount basically the beer fanboys out there. You know, because once you sell out, it's like sayonara. You know, fuck off. You know, and I think that's pretty much what did it. Is Constellation bought them up, thinking, hey, we got a little piggy bank here. We're gonna basically milk it to death, whatever. But Constellation basically decided to open up all these little tap houses everywhere, and then realized, oh shit, this ain't working. So they started closing them down, and the one in Temecula was like one of the worst, where everyone showed up to work and there's a fucking chain on the door, and it's like they didn't tell anyone. They didn't tell anyone they were fucking closing.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, if you've been to the Ballast on Long Beach, that's a really nice location. Probably their nicest location.
The one right by the water.
Oh yeah, it's right on the water. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful.
Nice.
Everybody knows the Beer Dad because he's got the beer family. We frequent Disneyland all the time. I really like the one at Downtown Disney. I think it's cool because it's upstairs. You get a nice view of Downtown Disney, and they have the panels that open up, so it's like kind of open air. So you get the nice breeze from its coastal area.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even know they had one in Downtown Disney.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
it used to be
Does Carl Strauss know?
What?
Does Carl Strauss know that they moved in?
I'm sure
because Carl Strauss was at California Adventure.
Yeah, no, but the Ballast Point's outside, and what's nice is it's Ballast Point prices. They're not Disney prices.
Nice.
So you go there, and it's no different than going to Ballast Point in San Diego.
Okay, that's good.
But it used to be a Build-A-Bear, where you used to do the Build-A-Bear stuff.
Now you can build a beer.
So upstairs is Ballast Point, and then downstairs is a new. It's like a burger place and craft shake place, which that place is really pricey, but it's really good. Do it once. Just once, and if you order one of those fucking crazy shakes that are like $80, you need to share it because there's no way in hell, especially you, Focker.
Because you got the diabetes afterwards.
It's a yeah. No, literally, they have one that's the birthday cake one. They put a whole slice of birthday cake on top of the shake, and it's like huge, like bigger than this microphone.
Wow.
Don't do it.
I wouldn't be able to get past the cake.
Yeah, no, you'd be done.
Diabetes.
All right, so I like this beer by Rhinegeist.
This is good beer.
I like the
this.
smoky taste to it.
Yeah. Got that nice red ale, scotch, kind of like
It
malty.
is very good.
That's why I like it.
Malty is really good.
Because you know my beer taste usually stouts and porters number one for the Beer Dad, and then usually right below that is red ales.
Yeah,
so that's a good one.
It is.
It's like red ale, wee heavy, kind of like that.
That
Irish.
wee heavy that Aaron made was really good that we had at the festival.
Oh yeah,
that from Brewkaipa. Yeah,
yes,
that was good.
Yes.
Okay.
AleSmith wee heavy is.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
They're barrel aged wee heavy.
I was going to mention I have one of those sitting
so
in my.
good.
Speaking
all
of
time favorite beers, AleSmith.
Speaking of wee heavy,
I have one aging in my fridge right now that I bought when I was out there.
Man, that's such a good beer. And we went there. We had it when they were in their little location where McKellar is.
Oh,
now.
nice.
So speaking of wee heavies, I got to do a shout out because they're friends of mine, Grace and Rob over at Mason Jar. I just wanted to say that they just released the Cranky Krampus today, and that's a wee heavy Scotch ale for the holidays.
Sounds pretty good.
You kids better be good. Christmas is coming.
You don't want the Christmas
and he's full of Scotch ale.
So for
Krampus is going to get drunk on Christmas and come snake your ass off into a basket.
So for the listeners that are in the Temecula, Murrieta, Menifee, Hemet, San Jacinto, Riverside area, check out Mason Jar. 2 locations. One's got a restaurant, which is right around the corner from the Beer Dad's house. Probably going to be there on my birthday Wednesday night.
Come celebrate.
We'll have some Cranky Krampus.
Yes, we are.
Hopefully they don't sell out. So Rob and Grace, if you're listening, put a little bit of Cranky Krampus aside for the Beer Dad's birthday Wednesday night. All right, let's move to the next one.
All right,
Speaking of those wee heavies,
we're going to change some serious gears here.
Well, no.
This is
the last of Ohio.
Well, yes, I'm talking flavor-wise.
Oh yeah, big flavor on this one.
So we're going, was it Home Sweet Home Imperial Sweet Potato Brown Ale brewed with marshmallow.
Holy crap!
Yeah, we're going crazy on this.
This is like Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh yeah,
in a can.
So
that's when I bought it.
So wait,
right before Thanksgiving.
Josh, I just want to clarify. You just read this off. We're about to have a beer that has sweet potatoes and marshmallows in it. This is going to get interesting.
Oh yeah, which is funny because on Thanksgiving I did actually make an actual dish that had the marshmallows and the sweet potato. So
I can tell you right now, I like this can.
Yeah.
We talked about can art before, and I like it's got like almost like a plaid sweater, like holiday sweater kind of look.
Yeah, almost like a checkerboard.
Argyle, is that what they call that?
Yeah, I keep thinking
Argyle,
of like those like old school pies that got the
There's
checkerboard.
still plenty left in here, so if you guys want a little more, feel free.
All right, so this is a limited release by the brewery's called 50 West, Andrew. Okay, so this is a brewery in Ohio. Don't get a whole lot of information about the brewery. I do see that this is 9.1%, so this is going to be the heaviest thing that we've had so far.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see here. Long, Strange Journey. 50 West. Double Home Sweet Home. Imperial Sweet Potato Brown Ale brewed with marshmallows. Josh looks like he likes it, so I'm gonna partake here. I gotta smell it first.
This is definitely dessert.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
The first.
Very sweet.
Now it's funny because the smell is kind of a misnomer.
Yeah.
I get the alcohol on the smell, and I get like beer on the smell, but definitely not in the taste. Like the taste is completely 180 on that. Like it's sweet. It's got the vanilla. It's got that roastiness going on. I mean the yams come through big time.
Okay.
You know, but I like it. I mean it's good. It's definitely dessert.
Again, I was a little worried that it was going to be just like a big bowl of diabetes in your mouth.
Oh yeah.
Sweet potatoes and marshmallows, but it balances out really nice. But the smell is what threw me off because it does smell sweet.
Yeah.
But then when you actually taste it, you don't get all that sweetness. I mean, I like it. It's definitely a good beer.
Something different. The combination I've never had before.
Yeah.
I've never seen sweet potato and marshmallow.
Yeah, definitely pumpkin. You see pumpkin beer all the time, but that's the first time I've seen a sweet potato beer. Have you seen?
I've noticed a lot of folks are, especially in the craft beer industry, like potato's been kind of done to death, and to be honest, pumpkin's been done to death. And to be honest, pumpkin doesn't have as much flavor to it. At least not the flavor that...
Not like a sweet potato.
Not like a sweet potato. So I've been seeing a lot more of these guys in the craft brewery scene basically replacing pumpkin with sweet potato. Because sweet potato has more of that kind of like robustness that they're looking for when they're doing these types of beers. And then they can throw all sorts of like crazy stuff on top of it, and it'll kind of mellow it out as a result.
So this brewery, 50 West, I actually went to this brewery. It's at the bottom of the hill where I was staying at family's house, and it's really awesome because it's right off a main road, and it's just a brewery.
Nice.
Like there's nothing else there, and it's just a brewery out of nowhere, and it's a really nice brewery. It used to be a restaurant, so they have all these like a staircase up to the different rooms, and you can have private parties in the rooms.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
And we went. It was the night or 2 nights before Thanksgiving, so it was really busy. A lot of the college kids were out and about having fun. But little did I know, it was penny pint night.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
I got
we walk
Snapchats
in
from you.
and it's packed. I mean, you're talking wall to wall people. And we get up to the bar. We finally get to order. I order 2 pints, and she's all heads or tails, and I was like, heads or tails? Okay, tails. Flips a coin, catches it, she goes, it's heads. And then she does something on the register, and she goes, heads or tails? I go, tails, and came up tails. And she's like, you got that one. I'm like, well, what did I get? Like, they get a prize from the wall or something?
And under the table.
That was later, Chris. No, so she gives me the receipt, and it's $5.01. And I was like, damn, that's cheap as hell for 2 pints of beer.
Yeah.
Especially because one was a high-end kind of coffee stout.
Yeah.
And I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, oh man, it's a penny pint night. Like I didn't even it just didn't even register until like a couple minutes later. I'm like, oh man, that's a great deal.
Yeah.
And no wonder it was packed in there. But man, they had a full house and they had a great number of beers. I wish I could have stayed there and drank a lot more, but got those 2 in, and then we went up to a room upstairs that was a little less crowded, and a party kind of got out, and there was a Scotch ale taster still sitting on one of a person's flights, and so I snagged that and hadn't been touched, and so I was like, yeah, it's a free little little taster, get a little extra flavor.
Yeah.
If you were in California, I'd suggest not doing that because you might get roofied. But you're in the Midwest, so you're probably safe. So
Yeah.
I'd say that's okay.
Bill Cosby was out there.
Jello pudding.
You want some pudding? Oh, yeah.
But overall, I mean, a really great brewery. And then I didn't actually try this when I was there. I had a lemon meringue sour, which was amazing.
Oh, yeah, that sounds great.
I love lemon meringue. I like lemon, I like sour, and it just hit the spot for sure. Then I had a coffee stout that was really good too. And then on the way out, they had a little cooler full of cans and stuff like that. So I looked at it and I was all, oh shit, what is that? A sweet potato brown ale with marshmallow? I was like, I gotta get that. So
all right.
So I didn't buy it then. I had to come back. I came back like a night later, ran in real quick as I was heading up to the house where we were staying, and picked up a 4-pack.
That's
nice.
And then I had one on Thanksgiving, and it definitely paired well with my meal.
This is basically like Thanksgiving fodder right here.
Yeah. It was delightful. So
how would you guys compare this beer to the actual sweet potato and marshmallow casserole dish that people make for Thanksgiving?
I'd probably drink this way before I eat the casserole.
I believe it or not, I like sweet potatoes, but I'm the weirdo that doesn't like the marshmallows on there, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, or maybe I'm not the weirdo.
I don't either, man.
I like and I'm picky. I don't like the ones in the cans, or the candied yams or whatever they're called.
No.
No, I like a real sweet potato that you actually bake, and usually I just put like a little bit of cinnamon and a little bit of butter on there, and it's perfect. Good with a steak. Really good with a steak.
I did one for Thanksgiving this year. My mom just gave me a recipe, and I just went to town on it. But it's basically you cook bacon to the point where it's like dry and crisp.
Yeah.
Crunch the crap out of it. Boil the yams and mash them into like mashed potato. Just butter, bacon, mix it all together. That's it. Done.
Bacon and spuds.
So you went for some more, Chris.
Bacon, spuds, and butter.
I did. I poured
And I
myself a little
can
more.
tell you right now, that thing was phenomenal. Like, it was just eating it up.
Well, the boys over here are pouring some more because they like this.
I know Josh liked it.
Yeah, I'll
And
kill that.
fill it up here.
Oh, yeah. Give me some...
My favorite way to have sweet potatoes is in French fry form.
French fry?
Carl Strauss actually has
Carl Strauss are good, yeah.
amazing sweet potato fries that are with chili and lime.
I order them extra crispy because I don't like soggy fries, and they're really good.
That's interesting. I didn't actually think you would like this beer, Chris.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty impressed with it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
No, they did a damn good job with this. It's funny too with this beer. Like a lot of times with your dessert beers, it's like one and done. You get your glass, you walk away. I could see myself easily having maybe a couple of these and just kicking back.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
I could go for 2.
Yeah, especially, and it's funny because even at that ABV point, it's like I'm not getting that. I smell it, but I'm not tasting
Well,
it.
it's like our beer.
Sneaks up on you.
The flavor takes over it, and you're just at that point you're like, "There's no way this is 9%." And then I'm pretty sure if you had 2 of those, you'd probably be like, "Yeah, it was 9%."
It was 9%. Yeah.
It's one of those creeper ones. It sneaks up on you.
Yeah.
It's like one of those farts.
Yep.
Yes.
Very good. All right. What's next on the agenda? We're done with Ohio. Yes.
Yeah, we're moving up north again.
We're going to Michigan. That's the state that looks like the glove.
I believe they like to call it the mitt.
The mitt.
And it's not the love glove.
Oh.
The mitt.
Says the guy holding a beer called First Brown Ale.
So
I know what Andrew's got. There's a reason why he bought this
So
beer.
I went to Trader Joe's again. Thank you, Trader Joe's, for your beer selection. But I went to Trader Joe's out in Grosse Pointe, Michigan, in search of obviously beer. Not even to buy anything food related, but just beer. And you're looking through the different cans and stuff they've got in there, and there was like a little clearance rack, and I picked this one up and was like, "Oh, what is this?" And it's a brown ale and whatever, but I kind of read the description. It's a brown trout, and for those of you that know what brown trout is, it's a little floater in the pool.
Sometimes gotta drop them off.
Yeah, sometimes somebody will leave you a nice brown trout floating around. And
Sorry.
As
you're reading this, I'm reading the can, and it's just like, it's just the irony between them is kind of
that reminds me of
nice brown ale, brown trout.
the Eddie Murphy special. Yeah. Remember the Eddie Murphy special from the 80s?
Oh, vaguely.
He's talking about sitting in the bathtub with his brother. They're playing G.I. Joes or something.
Oh yeah.
And then he's like, playing like the Jaws music. And then he's like talking about, and then comes along a big brown shark.
It reminds me of
dropped a deuce in the bathtub.
It reminds me of Caddyshack.
Oh God!
Bill
Bill Murray eats the baby Ruth.
He eats the baby Ruth. The lady faints.
Oh shit!
Definitely a brown trout, and everybody runs out of the pool.
Well, see, as you're reading this, I'm reading like, we make the kind of beer that we love. Unapologetic. Craft lagers and ales.
So I mean, I don't even know where that's from in Michigan and what the brewery is, but
so brewed with Detroit pride for people who enjoy great tasting beer
and brown trouts.
Yep. We're not seeking the approval of anyone else.
Obviously.
We're just a group of hard-working, beer-loving folks that get to bottle our enthusiasm every day and share it with the world.
I like it.
Nice.
Touching.
Yes.
Hit you right in the feels.
Like a brown trout in the...
I feel as though we just watched one of those women's Hallmark movies. You know,
Lifetime.
Yeah. You know,
Lifetime channel.
Like I
just
just
brown trout on Lifetime.
I just feel like it hit me in the feels. I feel good about myself right now. We're gonna have some brown trout, brown ale, and they don't give a fuck if you like it or not. They do their own shit. So, hey, cheers to those guys. What's the name of the brewery, Joshua?
This is Atwater.
Atwater
Brewing.
Detroit, Michigan.
Man, this smells really good.
Yeah.
Doesn't smell like a brown trout.
It sure does not.
No.
If it did,
Quite the opposite.
if it did, I'd drink some more.
Okay. Born in Detroit and raised everywhere.
Actually, that's really damn good.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Trout Unlimited.
I don't drink too many brown ales, and
No,
I think I need to drink more of them now.
Yeah, this one's... It's got a really good, like, robust, almost smoky, kind of like... You get that kind of... what we call burnt caramel kind of thing going on, or like toffee.
So, it says here that it was brewed to honor the first brown trout found in Liquid, Michigan.
Wow.
So who lets the kid play in the pool?
So brown trout was found in liquid, huh?
But hey, 5.5% and 27 IBUs. It's a brown ale. I mean,
Yeah, no, it's...
if I'm judging this,
Definitely brown ale.
style on a brown ale, this is pretty on money.
It's
This
good.
is about as brown ale as it's
I
going
love
to
the
get.
smell. I mean, every time I go to get a sip, and I got a big schnoz, I can smell it really well.
Newcastle can take a hike.
It's funny because from a long distance, I'm like, "What the hell's on that can?" And then you get it up. It's kind of like
Trout head.
what do you call it? Watercolor painting. Like what's that guy's name with the curly frizzy hair? You know who I'm
Bob
talking about?
Ross.
Huh?
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross. It looks like a Bob Ross painting, but it's a trout.
Put a little happy trout right here.
So it's almost kind of like Two-Hearted Ale.
I thought you were going to talk about Old Greg. You said watercolor. You said watercolor. I was like, Old Greg.
Yeah, we got ourselves a nice little lake here. We're just going to put a little brown trout.
And a happy tree over here.
You can't forget the happy trees.
You gotta have a happy tree and a brown trout.
But,
You ever had brown trout out of a shoe?
little mix of Bob Ross and what's
Old Greg.
Old Greg.
I'm Old Greg. Have you seen Old Greg, Josh? We were talking about him last week.
Oh man, that's classic.
He's great. He drinks Bailey's out of a shoe, and he would like to show you his mangina.
Yeah.
But look him up. That's going to be your homework for the week. You're going to watch it. You're going to watch Old Greg.
You fuzzy little man peach.
Yep. Yeah. Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you want to see my mangina?
Yeah. Really good. I don't even know
wobbly bits.
where's Atwater located.
Detroit.
Well, it says
Yeah, it says
actually Detroit. Okay.
Born in Detroit, raised everywhere.
Hey, cheers to that.
Detroit Steel
Nice.
right there.
Like that pairs with 1884. The Père Marquette River and all things trouty. Nice.
Motor City.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, listen here, you little trout sniffer. Sorry.
Good Christmas.
The dad jokes are going to
Yeah,
just
good
start
little.
rolling here. All right, let's pop open the next.
All right, we're going to go a little holiday
that one?
spirit.
Bottle opener.
No.
Keys.
Get over.
Oh.
Okay.
Listen for it.
They like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's so good.
So this is from Bell's, which is everybody knows. You guys listened to episode 5. We had the battle of the IPA Titans, and it was Bell's versus Russian River. So Pliny versus Two-Hearted Ale. Pliny's been the number one beer in America for a decade or longer.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Bell's came along with their Two-Hearted Ale, which the can kind of looks like that trout guy over there.
Oh yeah.
I might get a lot of hate for this, but Pliny, a little overrated.
Oh yeah, I agree. I don't think Pliny
There's
is.
nothing special about it. It's rare. It's not so rare
Josh is giving us a weird look over
No. Actually, I'm
Josh
kind of in the
is
same boat on the podcast. You know, I was the guy touting Blind Pig as kind of like the better of the options.
And people say that too. That Blind
there's
Pig's
a lot
better.
of people that do. But that particular night when we were doing our little round robin there, Pliny kind of came through. It was like wherever you got that bottle, it was
fresh. It was like the stamp on it was like a week. Because it was that day. Remember that day I went down for that quick date night with Amber and we stayed down in Del Mar.
You actually found a Pliny there?
There was here, just for you guys to know, there's a liquor store on your way to Torrey Pines, just from the Del Mar area right there, that little frontage road that takes you to Torrey Pines.
Yeah.
Is that El Camino Real or whatever? Something like that.
Yeah.
So,
I know what you're talking about.
there's a liquor store right there that's a hole-in-the-wall liquor store on the way to Torrey Pines, right before you get to Torrey Pines. Right on the right-hand side. Mm-hmm. They have Pliny and Blind Pig, limit 2 per customer.
Okay. Never had Blind Pig, but
I
don't know. Pliny, I just never was... I've had it, and I just was never over the top about it.
Yeah.
I swear, like, the scarcity of it was just the hype.
Oh yeah, and to
everybody's like, "Oh, have you had it? Have you had it?" Now I haven't had Pliny the Younger.
Yeah, I haven't either. A lot of
that's hard to get your hands on. I've had it; it's good, but it's not as good as I've had some other.
But that Bell's though, that Bell's is good. I've had that. That is amazing.
Well, I had to give Bell's a lot of credit in the sense that they did what they did with one hop, the Centennial. Like that's a single hop beer, but Centennial and all its wonderful diversity. Based on what they did with it and when
it gives you flavor notes of multiple hops.
Like you had a whole range of stuff going on there.
Shout out to Plaza Wine and Spirits in Mira Mesa, San Diego. They always have Pliny the Elder. They do not run out. Good. This guy gets cases on cases of Pliny the Elder.
Nice.
All right.
Sell a single bottle.
So right now we're drinking some Bells from Comstock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. So Comstock. And did you go to Bell's?
No,
you didn't.
No.
It's farther north, isn't it?
It's
closer towards Wisconsin.
I mean, Detroit's very south, so I would assuming anything is pretty much north.
All right, so Bell's is a big time brewery. They hold the title of #1 beer in America for the last 3 years or 2 years.
Actually, like 3 or 4.
3 or 4. Yeah. So they took the title from Russian River. This is their Christmas ale that we're drinking because it's December and it's almost Christmas.
Time,
brewed and bottled by Bell's. It's a Scotch ale, so scotch. I like Scotch.
Mm-hmm. Down in my belly. Anchorman, San Diego.
So
I like that
the
smell.
whale's vagina.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good smell.
7.5%, gentlemen. The cover is pretty nice. Got some snow with a few trees in the wild, with one of them decorated with golden balls.
Is that a Douglas fir?
That's hard to say.
No, that's just random pine.
Yeah, they don't get too fancy with that stuff. So, all right, I'm gonna take a sniff here.
See, I like the smell of the beer.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Kind of gingerbread spice smell.
Little bit on the smell, yeah.
Definitely has a Scotch flavor.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is a good beer.
I like that beer.
Yeah.
That's actually
it's like you expect Christmas beers to kind of like say like sucker punch you with the spices and shit.
Yeah.
And this one's actually really subdued. It's like we're making a Scotch ale. Deal with it.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely good because there's a lot of Christmas beers out there that just they're overpowering, and I think they just put them out there to hey, it's Christmas, let's just make a beer.
Yeah.
I mean,
it feels like they've made this
gimmicky.
Yeah. I'm glad to find this because other than this, the only other Christmas beer that's been like top of my list is Anchor Brewing's Christmas.
That's the big bottle.
That's they have little bottles of it you can find, but normally it's in a big
3 liter.
Magnum.
It's the BeerDad Costco size, in which you need to get a big straw.
And I can tell you from personal experience that Anchor Christmas Ale ages beautifully. I was up visiting a friend a couple years ago, And this guy bought 2 of those big magnums every year, and he just cellared them. And I got to talking to him about beer, and he's like, yeah, no one ever wants to drink beer with me, but here, hold on one second. He walks downstairs, pulls out of the cellar, 12-year-old Anchor Christmas beer. And I'm thinking to myself, like, oh, this could be interesting. Pops it open, probably top 5 beer I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
Nice.
Beautiful, beautiful beer.
Yeah.
Like, all the spices were there, had a nice, like, little chocolate note to it.
Well, we talked about there's certain beers with spices that when you age them, it does something magical to those beers. So we had was it a hazelnut chocolate porter?
That's right, yes.
And that was aged for like 4 or 5 years. Was it Heretic? What? Yeah.
Heretic Brewing, yeah.
And, oh my God, was it amazing?
Yeah, that was a damn good beer.
Yeah. So some of those beers, I wonder if you could with this. I don't know.
Well, right now, going off of that impetus, like I've been buying the Anchor Christmas beers over here, the Magnums, and I'm just sitting on them waiting.
Yeah, I seen them in your beer room when we were doing our thing, and that's interesting. Well, this is a good one. So I mean, Bell's,
I may go buy a couple bottles of this and sit on and see what happens.
I don't think I've had a beer from Bell's that I don't like.
Yeah, they
make good beer.
On point.
They're hitting the mark.
I haven't had a bad beer from Bell's either.
Very.
Now, this is interesting. On the back of their bottle, I've never seen this before. Maybe you guys have, but Puerto Rico, listen up. Do not litter.
Yeah.
Okay. Puerto Rico, you better step it up and don't litter there.
Don't throw this.
But we don't have listeners in Puerto Rico yet. But
no,
maybe
but
we
it's
will
literally
after this
on the bottle. Puerto Rico, do not litter. I mean, that's apparently they have a litter problem there.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, good to know.
All right, well,
they're looking out for our Puerto Rican brethren.
Yeah.
We've
the environment.
Yeah.
we've done quite a bit of traveling here so far. So we got one last one from Michigan.
Yep.
That is, I can see it from here. It says creme brulee.
Oh yeah.
So, Coonhen, is that? Did you pronounce that Coonhen?
You can't say that on podcast, Justin.
Can't say that on TV.
Coonhen. Well, it's
German.
Here, I'm going to go phonetic for all my law enforcement friends here. King Union Henry Nora Henry Edward Nora Brewing Company. So, Coonan Brewing Company Creme Brulee Imperial Creme Brulee Java Stout. Beers with distinct personalities, 8.5%.
It's like you just explained a whole segment of psychology right there with that one.
So, this is this brewery's started in 1998, so they've been around for a while.
Nice.
Wow. It's crazy to think how 1998 is so long ago these days.
It does.
I know.
Doesn't that
we were in high school?
You know what still freaks my mind?
We were in high school.
Stone Brewing started in 96.
Yep.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah,
I wasn't able to drink in 1996.
Nor was I.
Nor was 98.
So what we're about to experience here, gentlemen, is an Imperial Creme Brulee Java Stout with aromas of vanilla, caramel, and a coffee blend. It says to serve it at 38 to 42 degrees.
That makes my mouth water.
So this brewery is also Detroit, Michigan.
So this is actually I don't know
outskirts of Detroit.
It is Warren. So we were staying in Warren, and this is it was about 5 miles from the hotel. Actually went to the brewery. Had a vast number of samples there. Nice little brewery.
It's got a lovely smell.
Yeah,
it was an amazing beer. I had it there, and I was like, I need to buy a 4-pack of that when I leave. So.
Dark as dark can get.
The BeerDad is salivating because it's super dark, and I love stout. So this is going to be good. I can already tell you.
Look at that head. Those tiny bubbles.
Christopher. It's not supposed to be. No, wait.
This is a PG show.
I forgot about that. We can talk about that on the podcast. Fuck. It's
like we're on the internet.
We have
only people 21 and up should be listening.
Yeah. This is for the drinking crowd. So hopefully the youngsters.
Oh, the smell just hits me.
But the little shits to the.
Well, let's cheers to December birthdays.
December birthdays.
And the holiday season.
Roast.
And Schvetty balls.
And Schvetty balls.
I've always wanted to say that on the podcast, and I finally could because we're in the holidays now.
Gotta just weave it in.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Josh. You said you didn't really care for like coffee stouts too much.
Coffee is one of those ones that I actually let me twist on that one. Coffee, when you have the bitter side of the coffee bean, I'm not a big fan of that. But when you get some of the sweeter like more chocolate notes of the coffee bean, it's like on point. And that's what I like when they blend it with beers, is when you get like that cold brew and you get more of the sweeter notes, not that bitter. It's like, good job, guys.
Yeah.
Like, I was surprised. One of my favorite beers a while back that I really loved was a coffee Kolsch. And it was, if you've ever been
That's
out
actually
to,
interesting.
Yeah, if you've been out to Las Vegas, there's a brewery called Banger Brewing. Awesome name. They're kind of
in the front, drag her out the back.
Or Banger in the rear.
There you go.
Yeah. Yep.
Brown trout.
That's a brown trout.
Well, yeah, they're
Full circle.
they're kind of close to the main drag over there. As long as you're not banging the drags, where you are. Hey, fuck it, why not? Go for it. But good brewery. They did this coffee Kolsch beer, and I just remember it's like it's not dark. There's no coloration to it. You're just like, oh shit, this is cool. Take a couple sips, and they're like, coffee's there. But it's good, it's a good blend.
Mix a Kolsch with coffee.
Yeah, and I remember running into the brewer that day, and I was like, how do you make this beer? And he's like, yeah, we use green coffee beans. So once they finish the Kolsch, they get the green coffee beans. They basically just let them soak in the beer for like 3 days.
Is that pre-roasting?
Pre-roasted, yeah. So usually when you get the coffee bean kind of raw, it's got a green color. They call it green. Ooh.
What is that?
Hey. You just ruined the podcast.
Phone's off in the front.
Yeah. Podcast over. Restarted.
That's it.
Yeah.
Start from the beginning.
But yeah, it's the green coffee bean before they get in there and roast it. And he said he just threw it in, let the alcohol basically take care of that like coffee flavor. And yeah, I was pretty damn impressed. I ended up grabbing a growler and taking it to a buddy of mine. He's like a big beer connoisseur. He brewed like years more than me and knows everything under the sun. And he was like, yeah, this is quality.
Yeah,
that's interesting. That's really awesome. But I love coffee stouts. One of my favorites.
I'm glad we saved this one for the end to let it kind of warm up a little bit, not get hot, but
Well, yeah, like stuff like this, you want it.
Flavor notes.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so
Actually,
good.
this is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to say creme brulee, but
yeah, it's not that sweet.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that burnt sugar, that burnt caramel kind of quality to it, but the Java coffee kind of takes care of that. But it's still a pretty damn good beer.
I love it. It doesn't.
Good.
I mean, you can make a average stout, and I usually like it. This is an above average stout. It's really, really good. I just like the flavor. Mm-hmm. And I had it, and I don't know what brand it is. And I want to say it's a Missouri beer, but out at Mr. Craig's, we had a creme brulee imperial stout. And it was really good, but it was way sweeter than this. So I think I like this one better because it's not as sweet.
No, this one...
Yeah.
That one had more of a caramely, like... your lips would get sticky kind of feel, and I don't. That's too much sweet. I don't like diabetes in my beer.
Yeah. You want a beer. It tastes like a beer.
Yeah.
Well, see, and that's kind of my MO as a home brewer is like beer is priority. If you're going to augment that with any sort of flavor's got to come secondary to the beer. Like first and foremost, you're drinking beer with touches of creme brulee.
And see, that's what I like with a lot of craft beers is I can get a beer up front, hop forward, whatever it is, and then there might be just that hint, that little back end of some kind of a flavor, and that's when I like it.
Beer up front, party in the back.
Yeah, but it's when some of these
the mullet of beers.
The mullet of beers.
Some of these beers that are coming out and that are popular, it's just too much fucking sugar and juice and everything else.
I always trip out with some of these newer beers where you see these guys like tossing donuts in the mashed cylinders.
We had that. Remember the what is that? Mateful Dead that we had from 8-Bit. It was maple bars from the donut bar was brewed with it.
Mm-hmm. Donut
see, I'm gonna have my reservations just because as a home brewer, I know that when you're just adding sugar on sugar, it's all gonna ferment the same. You may get slight changes in flavor, but in the end, it's still fermenting out. The yeast is gonna make of it what they will.
But we did like that beer.
It was a good beer. Yeah.
Well, Mr. Craig didn't like it, but everybody else
You're lost, Mr. Craig.
That was like 11 or 12% or something like that. That was a pretty strong beer.
Yeah. Well, see, that's what ends up happening when you dump fucking donuts into the mash tun. You just add more sugar. Yeah. With a 12% beer.
Well, shit. Well, what do you think there, Mr. Andrew, brother of mine?
Yeah, that is that tops it off for the podcast. I mean, that's a really good beer.
Yeah.
So we went Kentucky, we went Ohio, we went Michigan.
Oh yeah.
Is that your favorite?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Your favorite?
I think on all of them. I mean, I just like you. I like stouts, especially coffee stouts. A little hint of chocolate in there.
Yeah. No, they did a good job with that.
Just amazing. It's
Focker,
really good taste.
what are you leaning towards being your favorite from the 3 states here of everything that we tried?
I'm honestly going to go with the stout as well.
Wow.
Relay. I'm usually not really a stout drinker.
Yeah.
I do like the flavors.
Yeah.
But when I drink, I like to have a couple of beers. And with the stouts, can't really drink too many of them. It's more thick and it fills you up. But just the flavor variety, everything, the coffee, the vanilla, the cream, just excellent.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
Josh, your favorite?
Oof. Kind of torn here because I'm liking this Bill's Christmas ale. That definitely hit a soft spot for me just because it just perfectly balanced. But I got to give a shout out to Taft here with their
you like that line?
Key line. They did a damn good job with that. Yeah. I mean, I'm
very well balanced.
I'm definitely going to be trying to keep an eye out for that one if I can find it. If not, trying to make it. That they did a damn good job with that one.
Right, that's good. Well, the beer dad here, obviously everyone's going to be like, oh, he's going to pick the stout. He's going to pick the stout. Yeah. It is. Of all of them, obviously it's my favorite because I like stouts and porters. I lean that way. But a very, 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 very close second for me was actually the red ale, the dad from Rhinegeist. Yeah.
I was gonna say that one definitely. That was
good too.
I like that one, and then very close to it was the Bells. I mean, all these beers were good. All of them were good. True to form, Andrew did a good job picking them out. We got to taste 3 different states, beers I've never had before.
Yeah.
Other than the Bells, everything here on this table, other than Bells, I've never had before. I've heard of Rhinegeist, but I've never actually had it. But and I've heard of 50 West as well. I've seen them on Instagram and stuff, but. Definitely a great job picking these beers. Good job there.
A full spectrum of beers too, from light to dark.
Oh, yeah.
We ran the gambit for sure. Absolutely awesome. So, all right. Well, that was pretty good. Yeah. we got through a lot.
Our Midwest adventure.
That was good.
Yeah.
Drinking through the state.
Before we close the show, I promised I would shout some guys out, some businesses that I want to put on the map here. The first one that I want to shout out to is Murphy Woodworks. You can find him on Instagram, Murphy Woodworks 77. If you guys are looking for any amazing woodwork to hang on your wall, he does American flags. He'll do thin blue line, thin red line, for corrections, for fire, for police, whatever you want. He makes challenge coin holders. For the craft beer listeners, obviously you guys are listening, he does woodworking bottle openers that you hang on your wall with different sports teams. Any sports team you want, even the Broncos, Andrew, as much as we don't like the Broncos, right?
The team that swept the Chargers?
You be quiet.
The LA Chargers.
So check out Murphy Woodwork 77 on Instagram. You can find him on Facebook. He's actually a good friend of mine. I used to work with him back in the day.
Can he make flight holders?
Can he make what?
Flight holders.
He can make anything you want. He does woodworking. Check out his Instagram, Murphy Woodwork 77. And then the next company I'd like to shout out is Local Beer Brand. They just launched the other day, and they're all about craft beer, just like we are here on this show. And they make T-shirts, hats. You name it. But what I really like is they have a really cool hat that has a built-in bottle opener on it.
Nice.
So you can check them out, Local Beer Brand on Instagram and Facebook. They also have a website, localbeerbrand.com. Definitely check them out. I'm going to probably be seeing those guys. Shout out to Ryan from Local Beer Brand. Check them out, localbeerbrand.com and Instagram and Facebook. So just wanted to get those guys shouted out on the show because I know they listen to the show. and they're a bunch of good guys. So give them a shot. Murphy Woodwork 77 and local beer brand. So it's been real, guys. Obviously a pleasure. Good to have my brother here. I haven't seen him in a little bit. And Focker, always good. Josh, my co-host. We see you all the time. So great show, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Great. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Beer Dad, go home. You're drunk.
I'm already home, so I'm good. So that was cool. Like I always say, everybody drink responsible. Try to drink local. Support your craft beer and your home brewers, and definitely get home safe. We'll talk to you later.
Cheers. Peace out.